Hi everyone, my name is Kate Drusevich. I am Manager of Finance and Business Services here at the Town of Essex. We're going to provide you with some background and budget highlights in this video. What we'll discuss is some unique pressures that we face this year and different challenges in preparing our 2021 draft budget. We will go through the first 10 pages of the document and give you a high-level overview in preview to November 30th's actual budget walkthrough. You will also hear some messages from our Treasurer and our Chief Administrative Officer, Chris Nepsey. We will conclude our video with how citizens and residents can get involved with the annual budgeting process. So some of you may be asking, what exactly is a budget and why do we do one? That's a very good question. Under the Municipal Act, Section 290, municipalities are required annually to present a budget. This budget details the upcoming expenditures in a year, and per the Municipal Act, these expenditures need to be fully funded. This meaning that a municipality cannot plan to lose money in a year or budget for a deficit. So work on the budget at the Town of Essex begins in the late spring. It begins at the department level, where department managers will work together to present a list of expenditures to their director. The directors then review this budget and communicate with their departments to ensure that their expenditures are necessary or if adjustments would be required. After the directors have gone through the department budgets, these are then forwarded to finance, where finance works for the next 2 to 3 months, usually from September to November or December, on reviewing and compiling the draft budget for presentation to council and resident members. The budget could be considered one of the most important documents that the municipality publishes in a year. A budget is a framework for responsible spending, and it also defines and helps guide our level of services each year. The budget also ties to a strategic plan within a year. Now I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Corporate Services and Treasurer, Jeffrey Morrison, to talk about certain struggles and unique pressures that we face this year in our budgeting process.
Oh, thanks, Kate. Great introduction. Now I'm going to move into the Treasurer's message, as found on page 6 of the 2021 budget document. As we work to navigate through 2020 and adapt to a new way of operating under the implementation and easing of restrictions related to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Town of Essex continues to offer value to citizens in the form of operational efficiencies and strategic capital investments. Following the redevelopment of the town's 2020 budget, you will see the same look, format, and feel has been maintained for 2021 and will be carried forward into 2022. The intent is to match the term a council. This will allow stability so that users are familiar with the document and provide the ability to quickly reference prior year budgets in a relevant format. I would once again like to extend my sincere thanks to Council for providing a vision, mission, and core values through the 2019 to 22 Corporate Strategic Plan. These values are fundamental to administration, who through their dedication to their craft are making many a reality. The 2021 budget experienced some unique pressures. In 2020, we had a surplus of almost $900,000. In 2021, that surplus is zero. Therefore, we had absorbed that surplus loss in the 2021 budget. Additional pressures include development charges. Due to growth in areas that have a waiver of development charges, it's estimated that that waiver will be approximately $500,000 for 2021. The estimate for 2020 was $200,000, thus an increase of $300,000 that needs to be funded. Additionally, OCIF, which is the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund, which provides the municipality with a formula-based funding in the amount of about $1 million a year used for capital specific to roads, has not been announced as of yet. Therefore, the budget was built to include that amount, so if that amount does not materialize, we have funding models in place to absorb that. However, fingers crossed, OCIF will be announced shortly. Additionally, the OMPF grant had a slight decrease of approximately $20,000 versus the 2020 amount. Despite these pressures and through council direction, as identified on page 4 of the 2021 budget document, the proposed tax increase on the general municipal levy is 0%. Additionally, on page 4, it walks through and it talks about how a property is assessed, what MPAC uses to assess a property, and the assessment site. It then goes on to discuss the growth and the assessment growth and revenue related to assessment, which for 2021 is estimated at approximately $400,000. The Ontario Municipal Partnership Fund is identified in here. It discusses the increase or the decrease of approximately $20,000 from prior year. And then it goes on to talk about the 2021 operating and capital summary. The operating and capital summary provides a grouping of revenue and expenditures. And at the bottom of it shows that the capital surplus or deficit, or overall surplus and deficit for the municipality, is zero with a 0% tax increase. Further on page 5, it goes to identify the 2021 residential tax rate. We then move to page 6, which is the welcome messages, which includes the message you just heard before from myself and the message from the CAO, which you'll be hearing shortly. Page 7 identifies the organizational structure for the town, shows town council and administrative services. Next, page 8 and 9 shows investing in a complete community. I'll pass that back to Kate, where she can further explain.
Thanks, Jeff, for that great overview on the budget snapshot. Now, if you could please refer to page 8 and 9, I am going to walk you through our 2021 revenue and expenses at a glance. If you look specifically at page 8, you can see that property taxation is the biggest contributor to our revenue at 27%, followed by monies from reserve and reserve funds at 25%. If you go further on and look at the circle charts, you can see how that revenue is broken down between our operating budget and our capital budget. At the end of the day, this year we have proposed $70.4 million in revenue, which encompasses both our capital and operating budget. If you refer to page 9, our 2021 expenses at a glance, you can see that we have also proposed $70.4 million in expenditures, meaning we are presenting a $0 budget with a 0% mill rate increase. If you look below, you can see that construction services comprises most of our annual expenses at 28.3%. Further on, you can see that our expenses are broken down between operating and capital. Operating expenses this year account for $44.6 million and capital at $25.8 million. It should be noted that included in that $25.8 million are carry-forward projects of $15.1 million. In 2020, there were some new projects such as streetscape and a new fire hall, which led to this carry-forward amount as these projects are still in progress. Actual proposed new projects would equate to $9.9 million. So I'm now going to hand it over to Jeffrey Morrison, our Director of Corporate Services and Treasurer, who's going to wrap up our video as well as talk about how property tax dollars are distributed. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Further on page 10, it shows the 2021 budget simplified. This is a great page. It shows the allocation of tax revenue received by the town of Essex, the county of Essex, and the school boards. Do you know that out of every tax dollar you pay, the town gets approximately 59 cents of that dollar? The rest, 31 cents, goes to the county of Essex, and approximately 10 cents goes to the school boards. Under that, it identifies the median home value of a house in the town of Essex. That median value is approximately $186,000. So based on the town's general levy or tax rate, multiplied by that $186,000 home value, the average home pays approximately $1,704 to the town of Essex each year. Furthermore, for every $100 of property taxes you spend, it provides the allocation as a percentage and dollar figure on what division or core service within the municipality it goes to. After the first 10 pages, we get into the breakdown of the 2021 operational budget and the capital budget. It provides a more detailed view of expenditures and revenues for the 2021 budget year. Next up, we're going to hear from our Chief Administrative Officer for the town of Essex. Over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Jeff, and thanks, Kate and team, for all the hard work in putting this together. The town saw declining revenues, increased operational expenses, and significant changes to operations in 2020. Yet in the midst of all these challenges, we maintained and delivered on our commitment to provide essential municipal services to citizens, stakeholders, and business owners. When the pandemic hit, the town responded with resilience and adaptability to ensure programs and services continued to meet the needs of our residents. Staff members from across the organization have stepped up and found innovative ways to provide critical programs and services. The impacts of COVID affected the 2020 budget and will affect the 2021 budget and future forecasts. It has provided a heightened sense of awareness of the financial challenges facing many Town of Essex residents and businesses. This council has looked to address these challenges while continuing responsible budgeting practices, steady asset management undertakings, and reacting conscientiously to growth, all while protecting the strong financial position Essex has held for many years. As a corporation, the budget is one of the most important policy documents. And as we look ahead to 2021 and beyond, the work of providing effective municipal services is more important than ever. As the local community recovers from a global pandemic, citizens will look to our facilities, parks, playgrounds, roads, trails, and everything in between for both stability and value. The 2021 budget reflects the new normal without altering the core mission and vision of this council to make the Town of Essex a prosperous, sustainable, and thriving community for families, business, and development. To wrap things up, we'll go back to Jeff.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Additionally, you can find the Town of Essex 2021 budget on the town's website. You can email or call the clerk's department if you request a hard copy, and that copy can be printed and made available to you. Please tune in on November 30th for the budget introduction and walkthrough. Additionally, the next budget meeting is scheduled for December 14th. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a great day.